One morning after 60, you may wake up and feel something strange. Not pain exactly, not fear exactly. Just this quiet thought in the back of your mind: when did life change the rules? Because aging does not usually arrive with a loud warning. It slips in slowly. It shows up in the mirror. It shows up in the doctor's office. It shows up when a friend gets sick. It shows up when your body takes 3 days to recover from something that used to take one night. And here is the part most people do not talk about. The hardest surprises after 60 are not always the wrinkles, the gray hair, or the stiff knees. Many of the biggest surprises happen inside, in your thoughts, in your confidence, in the way you see time, health, family, and even yourself. So today I want to walk you through 9 changes that catch many people off guard after 60. Some are difficult, some are emotional, and a few are actually freeing. But number 7 is the one that makes many people sit back and say, yes, that is exactly what happened to me. The first big surprise is this. One day, you realize you are no longer one of the younger people in the room. Nobody announces it. Nobody gives you a badge. Nobody says, congratulations, you have crossed into a new season of life. It simply happens. You go to the clinic and the doctor looks young enough to be your grandchild. You speak to a bank manager and wonder how someone that young is handling your money. You see a police officer, a teacher, a nurse, or even your pastor. And suddenly you realize something has shifted. For years, you were looking up at older adults. Then you were standing beside them. Then, almost without noticing, you became one of them. But here is what makes it strange. Inside, you may not feel old. You may still feel like the same person who raised children, worked long hours, drove across town without thinking twice, danced at weddings, carried groceries in one trip, and believed there was always plenty of time. That gap between how old you feel inside and how old the world sees you outside can feel almost shocking. And if that has happened to you, you are not alone. Many people after 60 say the same thing. I know my age, but I do not feel like that number in my head. That is why this stage can feel confusing. Your body, your reflection, and the world around you may all be saying one thing, while your inner voice says, but I am still me. And that brings us to the second surprise, which is harder to talk about. After 60, health problems stop being something that happens to other people. When you are younger, serious illness feels far away. You hear about heart disease, cancer, strokes, diabetes, Parkinson's, memory loss, and surgeries, but they often feel like news from another world. Then one day, it is not another world anymore. It is your neighbor, your brother, your old coworker, your church friend, your spouse, the person you used to walk with, the person who always seemed strong. That is when health stops being a topic and becomes personal. You start hearing sentences you never wanted to hear. They found something. He is having tests. She fell and broke her hip. They are watching his heart. She is forgetting more lately. And quietly, something inside you changes. This is one of the emotional turning points of growing older. Not because every day becomes sad, but because life starts reminding you that time is real. But listen carefully, because this is important. This awareness does not have to make you afraid. It can make you more awake. It can remind you to make the appointment, to take the walk, to ask the question, to say the words you have been holding back, to stop postponing everything as if life has an unlimited calendar. And that leads to the third surprise. Your body becomes something you have to manage on purpose. When you were younger, your body often ran in the background. You stayed up late, skipped meals, lifted things wrong, ignored pain, slept badly, and somehow kept going. After 60, your body starts asking for a meeting. Not once. Often there are checkups, blood pressure readings, eye exams, dental visits, medication refills, lab work, balance exercises, stretching, walking, strength training, sleep routines, more water, less salt, better shoes, safer bathrooms, and yes, maybe the very comfortable shoes you once promised yourself you would never wear. At first, this can feel annoying. It may even feel unfair. But here is the shift that helps. Caring for your body is not a punishment for getting older. It is the price of staying independent. That 10-minute walk is not just a walk. It is a vote for your future. That balance exercise is not just movement. It is protection against a fall. That doctor visit is not just another appointment. It may be the thing that catches a problem early. So when your body starts requiring more attention, do not see it as failure. See it as maintenance on the only home you live in every single day. And stay with me, because the next surprise is where many people make a mistake that costs them months. The fourth surprise is that recovery takes longer than you expect. At 30, you could overdo it and bounce back. At 40, you might need a good night's sleep. At 60 and beyond, your body may send a very clear message: we are not doing that the old way anymore. A poor night of sleep can affect the whole next day. A long shopping trip can make your legs ache. A small strain can linger. A busy weekend can leave you tired on Monday and still not quite right by Wednesday. This does not mean you are weak. It means your recovery system has changed. And fighting that change is where people get into trouble. They push through pain. They ignore fatigue. They compare today's body to a younger body. Then they end up injured, discouraged, or afraid to move at all. The smarter path is different. You do not stop living. You adjust the rhythm. You rest before you are completely exhausted. You warm up before activity. You build strength slowly. You give your body more time to repair. You respect pain signals instead of arguing with them. That is not giving up. That is wisdom. And now we come to the fifth surprise, the one that can feel almost private. The mirror may start to feel unfamiliar. You are brushing your teeth, walking past a window, or seeing yourself in a photo someone else took. For one quick second, your mind pauses. Is that really me? It is not vanity. It is not being shallow. It is a real emotional moment. Because your face changes slowly, but your inner picture of yourself may stay frozen for years. In your mind, you may still be 38, 45, or 52. Then, a reflection shows you a person with deeper lines, softer skin, thinner hair, tired eyes, or a different shape than you remember. That moment can sting, but it can also become a doorway into self-acceptance. Your face is not just older. It is recorded history. It carries years of work, worry, laughter, grief, responsibility, patience, and survival. Every line has been paid for with living. Still, it is okay to need time to adjust. Many people do. The goal is not to pretend aging does not change your appearance. The goal is to stop treating your reflection like an enemy. Look at yourself with the same kindness you would give an old friend, because that is who is looking back at you. Now, the sixth surprise is one that affects your sleep, your choices, and your sense of safety. Your worries change. In younger years, many people worry about careers, bills, children, buying a home, promotions, marriage, deadlines, and keeping up with everyone else. After 60, the worries often become quieter, but deeper. Will I stay independent? Will I be able to drive? What if I fall? What if my memory changes? What if my spouse gets sick? What if I become a burden? What if my savings are not enough? What happens if I need help? These are not small questions. They are human questions. And here is the part nobody should ignore. When these worries stay trapped inside, they grow larger. But when you speak them out loud, write them down, and make a plan, they often become more manageable. A fear about falling can become a home safety check. A fear about memory can become a doctor visit and a brain health routine. A fear about being a burden can become a family conversation. A fear about money can become a meeting with someone you trust. You cannot control every part of aging. Nobody can. But you can reduce the number of things left to chance. That is why planning is not pessimistic. Planning is peace with paperwork. And now we reach number 7, the surprise many people laugh at because it is painfully true. You finally have wisdom, but younger people may not ask for it. This one can be frustrating. By the time you reach your 60s, you have lived through recessions, family problems, job changes, parenting mistakes, health scares, grief, love, disappointment, and 1,000 lessons that cannot be learned from a phone screen. You know things because you have lived them. Then you look around and realize younger people are getting advice from strangers online, short videos, and people with perfect lighting who may have very little life experience. It can make you want to say, I could have told you that for free. But here is the secret. Advice is usually received best when it is invited. This does not mean your wisdom has no value. It means the way you share it may need to change. Sometimes the most powerful thing you can do is not lecture. It is listen. Ask one thoughtful question. Tell one short story. Offer help without forcing it. Let your life speak before your mouth does. Because younger people may not always ask for advice directly, but they often watch more than you realize. They notice how you handle stress, how you treat people, how you recover from loss, how you age without becoming bitter. That may be the advice they remember most. The 8th surprise is one of the best parts of getting older. You may start caring less about impressing people. For many adults, younger life is full of performance, trying to look successful, trying to be liked, trying to please family, trying to keep up appearances, trying not to disappoint anyone. Then something shifts. You start realizing that other people's opinions are not a courtroom, and you are not on trial every day. You may become more honest about what you like, more willing to say no, more comfortable with quiet, less interested in fake friendships, less willing to waste energy on people who only bring stress. This can feel like freedom, not loud freedom, not reckless freedom. A calm kind. You may still care about being kind. You may still care about your family, your faith, your values, and your responsibilities. But you stop handing every stranger a vote in your life. And for many people, this is when confidence finally becomes real. Not because life is perfect, not because the body is perfect, not because everything is easy, but because you no longer feel the same need to prove yourself to everyone. That is a powerful thing. And now we come to the 9th surprise, the one that ties everything together. Aging is not only decline. That may be the biggest misunderstanding in our culture. Many people are taught to fear getting older as if it is nothing but loss. Loss of energy, loss of beauty, loss of strength, loss of independence, loss of importance. And yes, aging does bring losses. It would be dishonest to pretend otherwise. But it also brings things nobody talks about enough. Perspective, patience, better priorities, deeper gratitude, a sharper sense of what matters, the ability to walk away from nonsense, the courage to enjoy simple things without apologizing for them. A cup of coffee in a quiet kitchen can mean more at 70 than a fancy night out meant at 35. A phone call from a grandchild can soften a whole day. A peaceful morning can feel like wealth. A good doctor, a reliable friend, a safe home, and the strength to move through the day can feel like blessings you no longer take lightly. That is not a small thing. So no, aging is not only about what is taken away. It is also about what becomes clear. But here is the warning I want you to remember. The people who tend to do best after 60 are not the people who deny aging. They are the people who adapt early. They do not wait until a fall to think about balance. They do not wait until loneliness becomes heavy to rebuild connection. They do not wait until the doctor is worried to start asking questions. They do not wait until their body is exhausted to respect rest. They stay involved in their own life. They keep moving, even if it is slower. They keep learning, even if it takes longer. They stay connected, even if their circle is smaller. They ask for help when they need it, not because they are helpless, but because they are wise enough to protect their future. And that may be the real lesson. Aging well is not about pretending to be young. It is about staying awake to your life. It is about noticing what has changed, accepting what is real, and still choosing to participate fully. Maybe your body needs more care now. Maybe your schedule has changed. Maybe your friendships look different. Maybe your worries are not the same as they once were. Maybe the person in the mirror still surprises you sometimes. But you are still here. You still have choices. You still have influence. You still have stories. You still have the ability to make today better than it would have been if you gave up on yourself. So let me leave you with this. If you are in your 60s, 70s, or beyond, do not let anyone make you feel invisible. This stage of life matters. Your health matters. Your voice matters. Your experience matters. And the way you care for yourself now can shape the years ahead. Start with one small thing. Make the appointment you have been delaying. Take the walk. Clear the hallways so you do not trip. Call the person you miss. Ask your doctor the question you keep brushing aside. Drink the water. Go to bed a little earlier. Say no when you need to. Say yes to something that still makes you feel alive. Small choices are not small after 60. They compound. They protect you. They remind your body and mind that you are still participating. And now I want to ask you something. Which part of getting older surprised you the most? Was it your body changing, your friendships changing, your worries changing, or the way people treat you? Share it in the comments. Your story may help someone else feel less alone today. And if this message spoke to you, stay with this channel. We talk about aging with honesty, calm, and practical hope, because getting older is not the end of your story. It is a new chapter, and you still have a say in how it is written.